In today's speech, we must speak about different understanding of the term style and about the foundations of contemporary stylistics. According to a celebrated linguist, Michael Halliday, there are no regions of language in which style does not reside. Despite this, there are probably very few stylisticians who finally agree about what style is. While we speak of style in architecture, in painting, clothes, behavior, literature, speech, etc., people have their individual style of thinking, speaking, and writing. And the way we think and speak modifies the way we write, or the way others write influences our thought and speech. Of course, the study of style cannot be confined only with individual style of a writer. The term has a wider meaning and wider implications. Now, let us consider the recurrent strategy, and as Bailey reminds us, give a ritualistic bow to etymology of the term style. Let us begin with a short history of this word. So, stylus is a Latin word, and in antiquity it denoted the sharp instrument used by Romans for writing on wax tables. So, stylus is a stick made of material for writing, and for stylistics from French means instrument for writing. If we refer to different dictionaries, they will offer more than a dozen of definitions of the term style. The particular identifying characteristic of something is writing style, acting style, baroque style, a way of living or dressing, for example, living in style, one's lifestyle, the particular way in which a person uses language in a given social environment, the manner in which something is said or done in contrast to its message, the author's use of language, its effects, and its appropriateness to the author's intent and theme. The characteristic way in which a person conceives and expresses ideas through language. Style usually varies from casual to formal according to the type of situation, the person or persons addressed, the location, the topic discussed, etc. So a particular style, for example, formal style or colloquial style. It's sometimes referred to as a stylistic variety. Style can also refer to a particular person's use of speech or writing at all times, or to a way of speaking or writing at a particular period of time. For example, Dickens' style was the style of Shakespeare, the 18th century style of writing. The element of style exists on the level of all meaningful linguistic units, from word to text, and in all kinds of writing, whether literary or non-literary. The majority of linguists who deal with the subject of style agree that the term applies to different fields of investigation. According to Galperin and some other scholars, the term style is presumed to apply to the following fields of investigation: the aesthetic function of language, expressive means in language, synonymous ways of rendering one and the same idea, emotional coloring in language, a system of special devices called stylistic devices, the splitting of the literary language into separate systems called styles, the interrelation between language and thought, the individual manner of an author in making use of language. So all of these 8 statements are true to a certain extent, but if we take them separately, we shall find out that the notion of style is broader in each case. For example, there is a popular notion that stylistics is mainly concerned with studying expressive means and stylistic devices, but they can hardly ever be met in business letters or in scientific researches. or that style is connected with the aesthetic function of language, but there are a number of texts which do not have aesthetic value, for example, advertisements. Another commonly accepted connotation of the term style is embellishment of language. This concept is popular and is upheld in some of the scientific papers on literary criticism. Language and style are regarded as separate bodies. Language can easily dispense with style, which is likened to the trimming on a dress. Moreover, style as an embellishment of language is viewed as something that hinders understanding. Perhaps it is due to this notion that the word style itself still bears a somewhat derogatory meaning. It is associated with the idea of something pompous, showy, artificial, something that is set against simplicity, truthfulness, and the natural. Shakespeare was a determined enemy of all kinds of embellishments of language in its extreme. Galperin states that style made rather sought in such fancy attire that one can hardly get at the idea hidden behind the elaborate design of tricky stylistic devices. Another commonly accepted idea is that stylistics is mainly concerned with studying expressive means and stylistic devices. Expressive means and stylistic devices of language only partially constitute the subject of stylistics. They are employed in poetry, fiction, colloquial speech, but hardly ever in science, technology, business letters. It would be wrong to confine the aims of stylistics to investigating expressive means and stylistic devices only. The term style also signifies a literary genre. Thus we speak of classical style or the style of classicism, realistic style, the style of romanticism, and so on. On the other hand, the term is widely used in literature, being applied to the various kinds of literary work, the fable, novel, ballad, story, etc. Thus we speak of a story being written in the style of a fable, or we speak of the characteristic features of the essay, and so on.